Hello everyone, welcome back to one of Miss Farah's lessons. So today we are going to learn the difference between how far versus how long. Okay, so let's look at the key words in here first. Far. So when we're talking about far, how far something is, we're referring to the distance, okay? So we're talking about how far it might be. And when we talk about how long something is going to take, we are talking about time, okay? So do not confuse the word long with a long road, okay? So when we talk about far, we're talking about distance. And when we talk about long, we're talking about time. Mom, how long is this going to take? I want to go home and watch TV. Okay, so we're referring to time here. Okay, so to give you a better illustration of what's going on, how far is the distance between two places? For example, Akil in here wants to go to school, so he's asking his mom, how far is my school from here? Okay. So we'll go back to the answers later on, but let's just learn how to form the question first. But before we form the question, we need to understand what's going on. Now, when we refer to how long, we are asking for the length of time we need to do something. Okay, for example, let's say this person wants to do his homework and he starts doing it at 3 o'clock and finishes doing his homework at 5 o'clock. So he took 2 hours to complete his homework. So when we're talking about time, once again, we are referring to how long. And when we're talking about distance, we will use how far in the sentence. Okay, now let's form some questions. Now let's refer to how far. How far is it from here to my school? Now let's look at the key words in here. Since we're talking about distance, how far, there are two very important words. Because you see, Akil needs to move from here to here. Okay, so when we're referring to distance, we must use these two important words in our sentence. Okay, so let's all repeat the question. How far is it from here to my school? Okay, you may even change the sentence and you may say, instead of saying from here, you may say, how far is it from my home to the supermarket? Okay, so remember, we're talking about the distance in here. So when you see the word far, you must have from somewhere to somewhere in your question. Is that clear? Thumbs up if it's clear. Okay, let's move on to how long. How long does it take to get to the supermarket? Okay, so as I told you before, when we refer to long, we're referring to the time, okay? So we'll start the question with the question word, how long does, okay? Because we're using the word it afterward. How long does it take to get to the supermarket? How long does it take to complete my homework? How long does it take for you to shower? Okay, so you must use how long does it take to do something. Okay, so let's have a review of these two question words first. How far versus how long. Now, to answer the questions, it's quite simple. When we are answering questions about distance, how far is it from here to my school? You're talking about distance, so you might say something like, it's about 200 meters, it's about 2 kilometers, it's about 1 meter only. Okay, so you're talking about distance, so your answer should be in distance unit as well. Okay, but when we're talking about how long, then you can say it takes about 1 hour, it takes about 2 minutes, it takes about 5 minutes. Okay, so I hope you know how to form questions using how far and how long. That's all for today. Bye.